This is video number 8 or 9. I'm almost losing count now. And I wanted to share a few things that I've learned. I'm RiNus. This is RiNus World. Welcome everyone to another video. If you've watched every video till now, thank you for your support. If you haven't, hopefully you will track back and watch the other videos before this one. Last week was Women's Week. Happy Women's Day to everyone. If you missed it, if you didn't, happy Women's Day to you either way. First thing I want to address is how you pronounce the name. It's not RiNus, it's not RiNus, it's none of those weird sounding names. I know it's easy attempting to read the way it's written, but no, please don't butcher the name. The name is RiNus or RiNus. Please don't butcher my name. I'm quickly getting into the lessons I've learned. I think the first one is things happen, or life happens. I think in the last couple of weeks I've learned that in pursuing a goal, pursuing a dream, you will encounter roadblocks. I did say it in a couple of videos before this. In my case, my computer takes about a day, maybe more, to export a video. And so, coming from before where exports didn't take that long, and now they do. The second lesson comes in: adapt. Things happen no matter how well you've planned it, things will happen, but you have to be able to adapt. So now I'm trying to do shorter videos. So now I need to do shorter videos so that I can shorten the amount of time that I'm working to give the computer enough time to export videos. And also, I've been trying, the original plan was to keep videos less than 10 minutes, and there's a lot of stuff to say, so some days the videos will go above that. But now it's trying to be more deliberate about sticking to my goal. So I'm trying to keep videos at least between 7 to 10 minutes, if not shorter. Yeah, so learning to adapt. It won't look the same for everyone. For some, learning to adapt would be to change the way you work or to change the way you approach work. But either way, it all comes down to learning to adapt. What does that look like for you? The third lesson, stemming from the first two, is learning to take a step back. Taking a step back doesn't mean you abandon your project. No, it just means you take a step back, look at the broad picture, see where you can make changes, and go back in. I think that's the biggest one. You don't take a step back and stay there. You take a step back to look at your project, and you determine what you need to change about how you're working towards your project. And the most important bit of that is going back in with a fresh mindset. Even in taking a step back, you need to remind yourself of what the vision is. Remind yourself of what the end result will be of this thing that you want to do, so that once you go back to it, you're going back refreshed, ready to take on this project with a whole new energy, a whole new mindset. And I guess the fourth lesson, which is a whole other video, so I'm trying to keep this one compressed as possible, is my health matters, your health matters. In a day and age where people are taking their health for granted, one of the biggest things you can do for yourself is take care of yourself. And I'm not just talking about your physical health. That would be a whole video on its own. I want to compress everything. So it's your physical health, your spiritual health, your mental health, and your emotional health. You can only give from the place that you're at. And if you're in a bad place, you can only give from that bad place. And yes, sometimes good things come out of it. The best example would be poetry. Some of the best poems were written in from a place of depression or a place of sadness. And somebody even said, the happy poems are not so nice. But honestly, I'd rather live in a world full of happy poems than a place that gives you the right conditions to have sad poems. So take care of yourself. Sometimes taking care of yourself will look a little selfish. It will look like you taking time out for yourself to breathe, to enjoy life, to enjoy what's around you. But the most important bit is take care of yourself. If taking care of yourself looks like finding a counselor or somebody who can give you an ear to talk to, give you an ear to listen, do that for yourself to make sure you're in a good place. If you need to eat healthy, if you need to exercise, if you need to study more, that could be part of taking care of yourself. If it looks like learning to say no, take care of yourself. Just make sure you are okay. I'm not saying be selfish about it where nobody else matters, but make sure you're surrounded by people that will build you and not tear you down. And taking care of yourself could be exploring your talents, exploring your giftings, building friendships, healthy friendships for that matter, building healthy relationships, whether it be with the people around you, your family. We're not built to be solitary creatures, even though some of us are more inclined to solitude than others. We're built for community. So make sure the community around you is helping you get healthy. And it's okay to say no to unhealthy things. And quickly jumping into the last one, the fifth lesson for me would be recognize what's in your hand. This is a whole other video in its own in detail, so I'll try to keep it as short as possible. By recognizing what's in your hand, I mean understand what you have and explore its potential. In my case, in as much as my equipment may be slow, my technology might be failing, it's what I have. And recognizing the potential of what I have would be me trying to see the best way I can use what I have. One question that I've asked before that I'll ask you again is what's in your hand? By that I mean, what do you have at your disposal right now? If you're able to upgrade what you have, then please, by all means. But if you're not using what you have now, what makes you think you do better when you upgrade? I think that's an important lesson. Is sometimes we get too caught up in, oh, I need an upgrade. But you still do the exact same thing with the upgrade that you did with what you're leaving behind. So if you don't use what you have now to its fullest potential, you will misuse what is going to come in the upgrade. See what's in your hand, recognize its potential, and use it to its fullest capacity. There's a lot more lessons I could share, but from everything, these are the main ones. And this is just the beginning. The first quarter of 2019 is almost over. And learning these things now will give us good traction to build on later on. You've heard my lessons in the last couple of months. I want to hear yours. If you're free, if you're okay to type them in the comments, and maybe we can even chat about them. But I hope what I've shared has actually made some sense to you. I'll see you in the next one. and let's grow together. Are we on? Are we on? Are we on? Are we on? We on? We on? On. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2.